You know I suggest. Just
Mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2. Can anybody hear me? Okay, I think I can hear myself right now. Let me just turn down this particular music because I believe we do have quite a few people who are already joining in on the stream. What up? Hello Galaxy, how's it going? How's it going? Let me just minimize this music itself. I think I'm just going to do something a little bit much more different. I'm just going to do the particular review much more different. Nice, nice. You can hear me clearly? That's awesome. Hello, everyone. This is KID and the Man bringing you another type of live stream review. This time, we're going to be taking a look at Wave 15. Now, you guys can't see it right now since I have this particular stream starting soon screen. Let me just remove that for a bit so you guys can see what I am actually looking at. Thank you. Nice to hear that you're also doing good as well, man. I think fun fact, I actually just technically I actually just woke up from a short little nap before starting it or before doing this particular stream. So what I'm going to do here for today, for any one of you who are just joining in, today itself, I'm just going to do a small minor recording of this particular stream, so that way I can just do any kind of editing itself, so that way each and every one of you can see what I am actually right now seeing. So I'm just going to do a quick intro as how I usually do. Any one of you who is just joining in on the stream, thank you for joining in as well. Let's hope that this particular light glare is not really that shiny on the whole thing. So in case all of you didn't know, my name is KID, I'm the man. Today we are just basically going through these new Wave 15 sets, or these new Wave 15 figures itself. And oddly enough, all of these 3 different figures are all vehicle specific. So I guess without further ado, we all can begin. We do have quite a number of people on the stream today. So just so for each and every one of you, please do say hi in the chat itself, so that way I would know how I can address each and every one of you. The chat box is appearing on the stream somewhere on the top left-hand corner over here. So hope each and every one of you can see that as well. And I guess without further ado, we all can begin. So I guess first things first, on as how the most recently thing is basically going on, is that just to give you a quick background, I got these 3 particular figures all the way from my dealer itself, Gila Poster KL. He out of nowhere, he told me that he was getting all 3 of these figures. I was waiting for it to come up during the weekend. I was waiting to actually get these particular figures during the weekend. Sadly enough, they all got delayed. So, since they got delayed, which is why I am doing this particular stream here today. And it just so happens to be the 4th of July. Well, it's going to be the end of the 4th of July in Malaysia itself. It's currently 11 p.m. So for any one of you Americans who are watching this particular stream, either right now or after the fact, happy Independence Day. Because, each and every particular country, they all deserve their own Independence Day in it of itself. So I guess without further ado, we all can begin. First things first, or we're just going to have to go through ladies first. We're going to be taking a look at RPM Yellow. That's number 1. We're then going to take a look at Chad Lightspeed Blue, and then afterwards the Holy Grail, the one that everyone is most likely here trying to take a look at, would be Turbo Red itself. So yeah, let's just remove these from their particular packaging, from their plastic-free packaging, mind you, so that way. And that and there goes the particular figure. So in the event excuse me, so in the event if my voice does sound a little bit coarse, is again, as I mentioned earlier, I did take quite like a short nap, which is why this particular review is, or this live stream is, slightly bit late itself. Yep, this is a RPM figure. Finally, we do have our very first RPM yellow, our very first RPM Ranger in the Lightning collection. So over here we do have, I kind of forgot her name. but she's basically the actress from iZombie. And I'm sure she actually does a lot more different types of show ever since starring in Power Rangers itself. So this one is the front of the packaging, very nice looking. This is Go On Yellow in the Sentai counterpart version. So hopefully all of you know that by now. We do have a nice product shot of her from the side. This one is more likely from the right hand side or the left hand side of the box. This one is pretty nice itself. The back of the box, you do get to see the particular figure along with her accessories and what she actually comes with. So from here, you can actually see she has two weapon holding hands, two posing hands, one baton. I think that's a baton. I can't remember what's the name of this particular weapon. The in both baton mode and the blaster mode, a very unique lightning effect piece that we've seen before. Her morphed helmet and her civilian hit. I actually took a quick preview of this box to make sure that all of the accessories are in here, and I gotta say the head of this particular figure is actually quite nice. Over here, you do have the side of the box that basically just shows you what you're actually getting along with the helmet of the particular figure. So that is the particular box. So I guess we all can actually open it up. One of the few things that I have mentioned before, I actually took this I actually took this particular box out so I can see what's going inside, and to make sure that I can put everything back in, I put the box in this way. And I believe I am stuck. Okay, so this one is the particular box. I mean, the inside of the box. As usual, we are going to be getting the plasticless, sorry, yeah, the plastic-free packaging over here itself. So one of the few things that I usually do when I go through over that, or one of the few things that I usually do when I go through all of these figures is that I'll go through the accessories bag first, just to make sure everything else is actually in here. So which is what I'm actually going to be doing here today as well. Hello, Ranger Blocks, Cosmic Fury, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you joining in again. So over here, this one would be all of the particular accessories. So we're just going to be taking a look at that a little bit on later. First things first, we're just going to take a look at uh, the main figure herself. So is any one of you, ready for the window packaging to come back in again? Because I'm sure each and every one of you already have a horrible time or a horrible experience with all of the existing particular windowless packaging, because you're not sure what you're going to get. It's almost like a gotcha system kind of thing, but instead you already know what you're going to get, but it's just that you're not sure where you could be able to get everything that is listed in the box itself. So yeah, that one is going to be a pain. What am I excited about for Cosmic Fury? I think what I'm excited about is how are they going to use the Q Ranger footage in Cosmic Fury itself, so that we can basically see how creative Hasbro can actually be. So over here we do have RPM Yellow. I think her name was Summer. I think her character name was Summer. I really can't remember what was the name of the particular character from the show over here. But as we all can see, we do have a very nice head sculpt. This head sculpt really is nice looking. It really does seem like they got a very young looking version of the actress over here, and then they were able to make a 3D print out of her face itself. So yeah, this one is quite nice looking. You do have some very nice wavy hair, making sure that you are capturing all of the different kinds of color or all the different shades of the hair and the particular hair strands. I can see that maybe they did not. If I'm remembering this correctly, her hair was a little bit blonde, but on the darker side. So I'm not sure whether if it's actually considered a brunette or it's just basically like a blonde with a little bit of highlights. But the particular hair of the figure also does have, the different types of highlights at the front of the hair itself. Just by taking a look at the eyes of the civilian head sculpt, the eyes are painted on or printed on very nicely. Same goes for the red shade. So the red shade on her particular lipstick. Yep, the red shade on the lipstick itself. So that one is quite nice looking. Am I getting the Hasbro version of Cureno? I am not actually sure. I really have to see how does the Cureno actually looks. I didn't even get the DX version of Cureno. Hello, Megadong. Welcome to the stream. Your name always makes me laugh. Okay, so I guess that one is for the particular civilian hit itself. But if we were to take a look at the Ranger helmet, so that way we can do a quick switch of the Ranger helmet. The Ranger helmet is quite simple, it's quite nice looking, but I really do appreciate how nicely it is translated into figure form itself. So of course, her particular animal is based on a bear, if I remember correctly. So you do have the front lights, or the how do you call it, like the eyes, the anime eyes of the particular Ranger helmet, which is actually like the headlights itself. Over here, you do get a nice Go Onja logo, the little bit of a tiny little G right over here. It does have a tiny little shade of silver, but I do feel that, as time goes on and more people are rubbing this particular area, the paint would actually fade off. So, do be careful if you want to make sure that the paint stays on here itself. What I did notice is that there is a type of sunroof on her particular figure, which is why there is a little bit of a black spot over here, just to depict that her vehicle does have a type of sunroof. Over here in front, the shape of the bear's mouth is her visor, is her own visor, which is quite a nice, round, very clear visor shape of the helmet. On the side of basically the ears of the particular helmet here, they are shaped like wheels. So that is the RPM design, or the Go Onja design for the particular Rangers of that season. Now, since we're all still considered quite early into the stream, so just in case how you guys are wondering, how do I usually change the civilian hit figures, is that what I usually would do is I will make the Rangers or the particular figures look up as high as they can go. And once I make them look up as high as they can go, I'll just use my thumb push from the particular chin upwards, and then from there onwards I'll be able to pop the head up. But because this is a female figure, or since this is a female figure, they do have long hair. There is a long hair over here, so those are quite a little bit more difficult, a little bit more different. So it's either you're going to pop the head from the hair side itself, or from the chin side itself. I'm just going to try and see if I can do this nicely or properly on stream. Let's hope this figure doesn't break on me. Oh, okay. So that the head removal is considered quite easy. So there we go. We have removed the civilian head, and then let's pop on. But before we pop on, I really have to state something that is slightly a bit different. So a lot of the female figures, or all of the new female body modes, they are, pinless itself. But apparently for RPM Yellow, she doesn't have a secondary joint at the base of the neck. So the neck of the RPM Yellow is actually fused together, or is a part of the chest or the torso of the figure. What I'm actually talking about is, luckily, I still have a Delphine figure from one of my previous live streams itself. If I were to pop off Delphine's head, then maybe you guys can, give or take, understand where I'm actually coming from. So if you can see here, the torso of the figure is right here, but the neck of the figure is, it does have its own articulation. So what it would usually look like is that there would be another type of ball joint that's attached into the torso itself, attached to the neck piece, and then another ball joint, so that you can actually, attach the head of the particular figure. So that is how the new female body molds are actually designed. But apparently for RPM Yellow, she has her own unique body mold, where the neck of the particular figure is fused in here. Oh, hang on. I think I just noticed something. Maybe she isn't fused at all. Maybe it's just the design of it. Because what I'm seeing here on stream, I'm not sure if you can catch that. I can see like a type of, like a tiny little hairline of a gap over here. So maybe it's Yeah, I'm not too sure. I really don't want to break this particular figure on stream. So if I do actually find out, I'll just post it on my Instagram. That would be KIDM the man. So if all of you guys want to find out whether if this is a new body mode or if my neck is actually fused to the torso, you can just follow me there, or I can just post it, or I can just post it on my community page on YouTube, so that way you guys can find out whether or not if the neck is fused to the torso. Eh, okay, so I have just put the helmet on the particular figure. It's a bit kind of stiff. The only issue I have here is that I can't really, right now, I can't really get the figure to look up as high or as far as she can go. So yeah, there is one tiny bit of a downside. So if this really is a new body mode where the neck of the figure is fused to the torso, you can't really get the figure to look up properly because of how the neck joint, because of how the neck joint, oops, okay, because of how the neck joint is, you can't really get the particular ball joint to look upwards as high as it can go or as far back as it can go, and how the ball joint system of the helmets work on these Lightning Collection figures. You see, now even if I were to put the helmet on, it's just going to be in this position most of the time or the whole time itself. So yeah, that is one thing to take note of for the RPM Yellow Ranger. And let's see here, you're finally getting your aerial rebuild this month. Nice, nice. I haven't built a model kit in so long. I really do want to build model kits. Uh, you know, I really do want to build all of the new model kits when they are coming soon. So yeah, I guess this is now Lightning Collection season. So as we can see here for the torso of the figure, it is nicely sculpted and molded and painted here as well. We do get to see the very nice looking seat belts of the Go Onger or of the RPM Ranger. They are really painted in a very nice shiny silver. That is really appreciated. We do get to see the tree in the shape of a bear in the center of her chest area or in the center of her torso. That is quite a nicely printed design. And of course, you do have the particular area here, which is, what is that particular piece called? The thing where you get to take out your seatbelt, where it is holstered into the car. So this one is really nice looking. So overall, the silver on this particular figure is nicely painted. It really is very shiny with all of the reflection over here. Okay, so I think with what you guys saw earlier, the sides of the arm, it does have its white paint on the side of the particular arm. Majority of this arm is, molded in a yellow plastic, so all of the paint is, painted on in itself. One thing, let's see if I can see if how the arm actually works. Okay, so apparently how do you say, apparently the glove area of the arm or the forearm looks like it is a different type of body mold, or sorry, it looks like a different type of mold itself. So the black area of where the tires are, they are actually molded on. So it's not really like just randomly painted black paint with a little bit of lines or patterns to make it look like a tire. Now, all of these particular tires, they are new molds. So this one is really nice really is nice looking. They Hasbro didn't reuse any particular sets or reuse any type of particular body molds to make sure that this thing is possible. So we are getting new molds to fit the uniqueness of each and every one of these particular Ranger characters. Over here, so let's say if we were to move her torso back up, sorry, back that, let's say move her torso back that far, you'll still be able to see like how the silver paint is, continuing all over to the base of the hips area or of the waist area. Over here, let's say but the illusion actually breaks if you're able, sorry, if you, how do you say, twist the torso to the side. So this particular paint doesn't actually match well. But if you're only just making her arch her back, the paint does match well very nicely. So that is one thing. So that is, kind of good for the particular figure. I guess it is really quite expected with each and every one of these Lightning Collection figures. Okay, so for my left arm here, I have a articulation point right over here, a nice little swivel. So that way, we can basically say, or we can basically conclude that the arm or the forearm of the figure onwards is a new mold, is a separate piece. So we can actually position all of these properly together. Yep, that one is quite good. Okay, after that, we can then take a look at the particular waist or the belt. We do have a nice silver paint on the center belt buckle area, or basically where the seat belts are, or where the seat belts actually are. The I think what's the word I'm looking for again? Utility belt. The go on just really does look like they have a type of utility belt all around them, so that way you can basically see. I don't think I think it's just for aesthetic reasons. I really don't believe that the show kept all of the engine souls around all of these areas, unless I am missing that out. But over here, you do have the particular holster where they can keep their RPM cell phones, the morphers over here. So it is still quite nicely sculpted. I think you can see a slight hint of a G on the, yeah, I think this will be a better shot. You still be able to see a nicely sculpted Go Onja logo on the side right here. And of course, you do have a nice hook holster. You do have a nice hook holster on the right hand side of the figure here. So since we are taking a look at the holster where the rangers are able to keep the particular weapons, so let's that way we can just put her aside. Let's see, does she have drop down hips? Yes, she does. Okay, so that's another thing about the new Lightning Collection line, is that they all do come with their own drop down hips, just so that they have. This is mostly just so that they can have a nice articulation here. So let's just slightly lift it up so that way we can see the internals of the drop down hips. That is what a drop down hip look like. The main concept of this is so that you can have even more articulation. Only downside is that if it's considered quite loose, then you would be, you would be having a very loose figure. So I think for me, I'm considered quite safe. It is quite stiff. It only just moves side to side a little bit. It's not like it's going haywire every time I shake this. So that one is quite good itself. Okay, so let me just stand up our summer right over here. Is everyone having a good summer? All right then. Okay, you pre-ordered it at the start of the year. Oh, that's a very, very long pre-order. Okay, so we do know that she does come with weapon holding hands. The weapon holding hands are on a swivel this way, so that way if she's holding a gun, she can actually swivel up and swivel downwards. So that one is quite good. Same thing for the right arm as well, or for the right hand. If she's holding a weapon, it can go up and it can go down this way. Yep. What I plan to do is to, make a shorter, shorter review version of each and every one of these particular characters, so that way all of you can also enjoy this individually or after this particular live stream. Over here, you do get very nice looking posing hands. Too bad we don't have a peace sign posing hand, so that way we can, collectively do the particular meme where the Go On Yellow does her roll call peace sign in a very, very suggestive position, and then an explosion appears right behind her. So, I hope all of you guys know what I'm actually referring to. So let's just put Go On Yellow aside. And let's take a look at the first particular weapon. Over here we do have, I think it's called a Nitro Blaster. Yep. So this one is the Nitro Blaster. It is, from what I can see over here, it's molded in. Oops. Sorry about that. So the Nitro Blaster is molded in a black plastic, and over here you can see that all of the paint job is nicely painted. I kind of like the metallic blue that they have here, for where you'll be able to see what engine souls or engine cells that they're actually using. Then from here, you'll be able to see how nice silver is applied to the nozzle of the weapon. It does have a little hole over here. So if any one of you have any kind of blast or shooting effect pieces, let's see if I have something on the table. Nope, I do not have anything on my table. But if you have any kind of blasting or shooting effect piece, you should be able to put that in this particular hole. And if you want to, find a way to have the particular figure have the weapon to holster it, I believe this one would usually be in this particular position. Correct me if I'm wrong. So since it's just in a hook position, you can either do it in this particular way, or maybe there is a different method to do so for the RPM ranges. Yep. So unless I'm wrong in this particular posing, please do correct me in the chat, since chat is visible on this particular live stream here. Hey Aditya, welcome to the stream. Glad you can actually glad you're joining in. So yeah, so hopefully this is the correct way of them holding or keeping the blaster on their particular waist area. Unless it's like this. I kind of feel it's like this. Over here, let's up next we also do have the Nitro Blaster in its sword mode or baton mode. The main idea here is that it basically extends. Oops. The main idea here is that it basically extends. So if you guys don't know, this is what the nozzle of a let's say if you want to pump petrol into your car, or if you want to pump gas into your car, you basically have to lift up the nozzle from where it is and then put this inside the car, and then from here you'll be able to press this particular button inside, and you'll be able to release the gas. So that's what this particular weapon design is for. So this way, if you take a look at it in from a certain point of view, it's almost like this is basically the holes of where the gas is, or where the petrol or where the gas would basically come out from. Yep, so that is quite nice. I'm not too sure if the center of the weapon is actually meant to be black or is meant to be silver. I would have to double check with online images, so that way I can confirm whether the Hasbro actually did something wrong here or they actually did something right. Again, you do have a nice shade of red in the the center area of this particular weapon, and of course you do have the, how do you say, the metallic blue. You still have a nice consistent metallic blue color in the center of the weapon here as well. So yeah, that one is quite nice looking. Uh, Up next, we also do have a effect piece that we have seen before, or maybe a new type of effect piece, since the particular position is a little bit quite weird. This is the exact same effect piece that we got from the last review that we had, the Dino Thunder Black Ranger. This is the one that it came with. This was the effect piece color that came with the Dino Thunder Black Ranger. So if we can see over here, they are basically identical, give or take their waviness, give or take the different type of waviness that they have. Yep. So that one is so that one is the particular effect piece. It does have a tiny little hole. It does have a tiny little hole over here. It's considered quite see-through. So the only downside here that I can check out is that because the nozzle is considered quite big, it's a little bit too big for the hole. That's what she said. Okay, so what do you call it? If you want to try to find a way to make sure that this effect piece, stays on the weapon, I don't think you would be able to, unless you want to force your way in without applying any kind of lubrication. And in the event when you are done with the effect piece and you want to remove it, you are going to get some paint chipping on the tip of the particular weapon. So I really highly recommend you don't do that. Just keep this aside and maybe use a different kind of effect piece. Maybe like a regular sword effect piece where you're able to slowly slide through the particular weapon around this particular tube. That one would be a much more better plan if you want to give a effect piece to this particular weapon. Yeah. Let's see. Is it a saber? Yeah, I think it's a saber or a baton, Aditya. So it's like police, police, they have the stick on the side of them where they can use this to, whack naughty people. Yeah, this is what it is. Yeah, I guess that one should be it with regards to the RPM Yellow Ranger. Here is a final shot for you to see how she actually looks like in action figure form or in Lightning Collection form. It is quite nice looking. And then of course this one is the civilian hit, very nice looking civilian hit, where one of the best ones I've seen so far. I think the best ones out of this set, because I actually have taken a quick peek at all of the other ranges that we are going to be taking a look at today. So yeah, I guess we have spent quite some time with the Yellow Ranger from this particular wave of wave 15. So of course, we're going to be taking a look at another figure from wave 15. This one would be the Lightning Collection or the Lightspeed Blue Ranger. So this one would be Chad Lee. Over here, we get to see how nice the front of the box actually looks. We do have a nice, Blue Ranger over here. Chad right here, the Tai Chi Master, his particular weapon, and a new effect piece. Or no, I think that's an old effect piece, just in a different shade of color. As usual, you do have some nice artwork of the Blue Ranger. And of course, at the back of the figure, you will be able to see what you're actually getting, the Blue Ranger, and along with his accessories. So out of the box, you would be getting, the fist that's attached to his arms, two different weapon holding hands, the particular blaster, and this blaster does look like it has a number 2 written on it, I think. I'll double check. I'll double check once I open it up. You have the blaster in a short little baton mode as well. I think it is a baton mode. You do have this particular effect piece. Really does look like it's considered quite new, but we'll find out once we take a look at it later on. The helmet of the particular ranger, and of course we do have Chad in a nice smiley looking face. I don't really think this looks like the actor, but we could be wrong once we open it up. And of course on this side of the box, you get to see what you'll be getting along with the head or the helmet of the particular ranger. Just by taking a look at this, it looks like the 3D design of this helmet, it does look like they engraved it or they molded in such a way where all of the patterns are visible on the helmet. So hopefully the figure is the same, just like that. You haven't, no, hey Fakihin, welcome to the stream. Yep, you have not missed the Turbo Red review. That's the genius of this. I basically have already gone through the Yellow Ranger, and then now I am going through the Lightspeed Blue Ranger. So that way, anyone else who is late to the review, if for all of you guys, welcome to the stream. If all of you guys want to check this out and you want to share this particular live stream to everyone else, since we are currently live right now, feel free to share it, ask them to join in on the stream so we can take a look at Turbo Red later on. Yeah, that really would be appreciated. So, of course, we do have Chad Lee, and let's try to remove it out of the box. Yeah, I really am not going to miss the plastic-free packaging or the paper packaging. Okay, I am having a tough time trying to remove it from the box. But, of course, that is mostly because I don't want to ruin it. It's plastic-free. It's not going to be ruined. Oh, okay, now I know why. Now I know what's stopping it. It's the edge of this particular box that's hitting on the side over here. Okay, so yeah, that box is now out, and then we'll then take a look at the accessory bags and of course the main Ranger bag over here. So what do you guys do with your plastic-free packaging anyway? Like, do you guys fold it up? Do you guys keep it on the side and then forget about it? I'm trying to figure out what am I going to do with it. Most likely, maybe I'm just going to keep the box on the outside, but not so much the boxes on the inside. Let's remove this. Okay, so this one is the main accessory bag. You'll be able to we'll be able to see what we'll be getting with the figure. I have, as I mentioned before, when I'm at my dealer shop, I'll just basically open up these ranges and open up these accessory bags to make sure that all the accessories are in, so that way I don't have to drive all the way back to his shop just to just to return a figure and just to exchange a particular figure. So yeah, really can't wait for the window packaging back again. Yep, and there we go. That is Chad Lee with a nice looking face sculpt or with a nice looking helmet sculpt. Now, from what I can see, oh my, Chad Lee has a new body mode. Okay, so let's just take a look at his civilian head for a second, because I think he is trying to make a face, or he's trying to make a type of look where he is probably biting his own lip. I think it's either my paint job is a little bit messy, or he is trying to bite his own lip in this position, because his lip or his face, he's trying to give you a type of smirk. and then his eyebrows is a little bit shorter here, I think, in terms of the paint job. Either that or he is, giving you un either that or this particular figure has uneven eyebrows, or he's trying to give you an eye raise. Yeah, that is one of the main uniqueness. But he does kind of look Asian, as how Mike Chat is. I think that's his real name. That's his real name itself, Mike Chat. And yeah, it is quite nice looking. The hair is quite, crips, crips. I can't remember how do you pronounce that particular word. It's very nice. His hair is, very nicely molded, nicely sculpted, and nicely painted, alongside with his face features too. Now, one thing I have noticed, and why I say that this particular figure has a new body mode, is that his torso, as I can see, his torso is a little bit shiny. It's a little bit hard, you know. It's almost like it is a separate piece. If we were to take a look at Dino Fury Blue, you can see that his torso is, a little bit less shiny. It's a little bit, I think the knocking sound is a little bit quite different itself. But why do I say that is because if I were to take a look at these particular figures here side by side, I would say Chad is a little bit thin, right? Chad is a little bit much more skinnier than the older body mold of of the Lightning collection. So yeah, so this is a new body mold. It is much more skinnier. I hope it's not really that breakable, because that really is what I am afraid of. I can see some, like a little bit of a glue residue over here. So I hope that is not the case. Yeah, I don't want a, how do you say, a Time Force Blue scenario where everyone has gotten their Time Force Blue and then out of nowhere Time Force Blue just exploded. It just exploded on them. So of course we do. So when I say a new body mode, not only that, his neck area, is a new joint. His neck is his neck actually has the joint where I mentioned RPM yellow should actually have. So of course, if you want to make the particular figure look up or look down that far, this is where the new neck articulation comes in. Instead of just moving the head all the way back up, you're moving the neck upwards to look up as well. Oops, okay. So that way you'll be able to have a much more natural looking upwards kind of look. In case all of you who are here and you're not sure what is the proper way or the safe way to remove the head of the Lightning Collection figure, as what I showed you just now, get the figure to look up as high as you can, put your thumb underneath the chin, and then from here onwards, you can pop it off. So that is how you'll be able to avoid, bending this particular ball joint. I guess it really just depends on the weather your country actually has, because I have noticed that if you are in a cold weather, more often than not, then your plastic will get stiff and then it will basically break even much more easier as compared to a tropical weather. Let's check out the particular chat. My chat is still pretty big in the stunt and martial arts scene. Yep, yeah, he's trained Roxy's actress from Beef Morphos. I think I have heard of that before. Megadong. You used to keep the boxes, and then when it had the cover art, and then I just recycle it. Yep, that's a nice way to recycle. There's a nice way to recycle all of these particular cardboards as well. Change his color to red, and we get Umbrella's logo from Resident Evil. Exactly. I guess we'll basically be able to make that joke once the Red Ranger does appear from the Lightspeed Rescue team. So of course, I have been talking about this with a headless figure over here, and right now, just by feeling this new Lightspeed Blue helmet, I guess I am correct. The Lightspeed Blue Ranger helmet is a new mold as well, and this time they actually did carve out the sections or the proper areas that needed to be carved out, so that way you can see the helmet in its nice looking glory. This one is double carved. Okay, I am really quite impressed as to how they were able to paint the white along the side of the helmet. So that one is considered quite good. The sides over here, all of the white paint over here, they are nicely fitted in between
the crevices or the areas where it should go, I think I do have a minor, oh, that's not a paint chip, that is just some random plastic appearing over here, unless that is actually considered paint. Yeah, that could be like dried up paint. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so I think how the main process of this particular helmet paint job is that once all of the molding or all of the particular patterns have already been carved out, they would then add all of the white paint along throughout the entirety of the helmet, and then afterwards finishing off with the black paint in the center of the helmet here. So yeah, nice glossy helmet for the Lightspeed Blue Ranger. So let's hope this hit can fit in properly. Yeah, there is no pop sound, so slightly a bit worried about that. But yeah, so now we do have Lightspeed Blue properly on his own particular figure. On the own particular torso here itself. So looking at the torso of the particular figure, it is quite nice. You know, these are all blue plastic, I'm assuming. Yeah, okay. So it's fully molded in a blue plastic. That is what the torso is. And then all of the white areas of the particular figure, they're all actually painted. And one of the cool things about this, or what Hasbro tried to do always, is try to, get the painting of the figure appear underneath, or in the abdominal area. So from here, so just like that. That way, when you pose it, or when you pose the figure, if you were to make the figure, crunch downwards, it's not really that weird looking. But if you were to pose him, to arch his back even more, that's where the illusion actually ends. So that is quite a bummer, or that is one of the main downsides of this. I really wish that they would readjust this a little bit more differently, so that way if you were to pose him backwards, it won't really break the illusion, as well as if you were to pose it front or forwards. Yeah. Other than that, we do have nice different articulation, a little bit of white on the butterfly joint, so that way, no matter how you're posing it, the white doesn't really run, or the particular figure is still basically aligned in its own design. Yep. The rest of the arm is of course molded in a blue plastic. It looks like I do have a minor gap over here on the swivel or the upper bicep, but at least we do have a nice new mold for the forearm. So when I say the nice new mold for the forearm, this one is of course molded in a white plastic. No, no, sorry, sorry, I'm mistaken. This whole forearm here is a blue plastic, or it's molded in a blue plastic. The gold and the white are painted on, so do be careful not to chip it. And of course, you get to see a nice Lightspeed Rescue logo, on the side of the particular glove area. Same thing goes for here as well. Nicely molded. If I'm not too sure if the show actually has these painted ons, but if you want to paint it, feel free to do so. I don't think I'll be doing that. But all of the gold, or majority of the gold of on this particular figure, it is almost like a nice shiny gold. I guess if I were to take a look at the figure from top to bottom, the shinier golds are on the on the arms of the figure, whereas the slightly bit dull gold, it's on the bottom of the feet or at the boots area. The boots also still have a nice logo here, and of course, the last but not least, the gold on the belt. The belt itself is molded in a gold plastic, but because it's just molded in a gold plastic, it is much more dull color looking. Yeah, it's not really so much of a cheese gold, but I think it's just a dull gold color. That is what we usually would be getting in the event if the plastic of the particular figures are made of in gold. And of course, in the center over here, you do get your Lightspeed Rescue logo, and the Lightspeed Rescue logo is also painted in the center. So that one is a nice touch. I really did not expect them to paint the center of the belt as well. Yeah, exactly. I also like his belt as well. I mean, in a way, if you were to position it however you like, it does look like a type of robotic face. Oh man. Let's see. The classic finish evokes nostalgia for you. I think I have one Lightspeed Rescue Danger when you were a kid. Definitely had the Megazord though. Yeah, yeah, that's nice. When it could really, it really does bring us back to when the simpler times where we were either in primary school, secondary school, where all of these particular ranges showed up on the television screen. Other than that, it does, it does. This new body mode does have drop down hips as well, a little bit loose on mine, but I guess that's fine. If you want to have the Ranger to kick as high as he can go, that's how you'll be able to do so, just by dropping down the hips and then posing the kick as high as you want. And it does look a little bit more natural. So of course, hopefully, or it really depends. If fans aren't really a big fan of the drop down hips, then I guess Hasbro would actually remove them from the Lightning Collection line altogether. Yeah, he does stand a bit weird though, not gonna lie. That one is one of the major downsides of this. In the event if your figure is slightly bit too stiff, just give it a hot bath. Give it a hot bath, loosen up the plastic a little bit, so that way you can pose the figure in however or whichever way that you want. Now let's take a look at the accessories. So of course, oh, okay, they are trigger happy holding hands. So these are the two weapon holding hands. They are all posed in the form or the shape of holding a trigger, or holding a shooting weapon here itself, but I guess it's fine for Lightspeed Blue. The main reason is, oh, of course, you still do have a, articulation over here. Why do I, so what I mean by I think it's fine is mostly because of how the weapons are designed. So if I were to put this figure down a little bit here, and here is the blaster, you know, it's meant to look like some kind of water gun. Yeah, let's just take a look at this first. So the blast here, molded in red plastic, entirely in red plastic. I really do like how the molding of the logo is still visible over here, painted in gold, a little bit of a simple black line, a little bit of gold paint over here. And of course, this will be where the main paint would be. Ah, exactly. So I guess I was correct. You are able to see his particular logo, or the shape of his visor and the number 2 painted on over here quite nicely. So because these are all painted on the figure, oh sorry, painted on the weapons here, just be careful not to accidentally scrape the paint off. Otherwise, you're gonna have a very bad time. But yeah, so and then if we were to take a look at the baton type of weapon, it's the same thing here as well. Nicely painted logo, nicely painted two over here, and of course nicely painted gold plastic. Sorry, gold paint on the areas that matter. And then of course over here you do have some nice silver itself. So as I mentioned, why the gun shape, or the blaster holding hands are quite useful is because there are areas where you can put in the finger, or the trigger finger, into the weapon. I keep dropping things. Luckily, I'm actually doing this review on the floor. Okay, so I think let's try to pose it in such a way where he can hold the weapon, and that way it'll be a little bit more natural. I think I think that is as natural as I can make it go. So yeah, so here's how you'll be able to hold the particular weapon with the trigger happy hands, or with the blaster holding hands. That's number one. If you want to have the particular figure to hold to hold his saber properly, same thing goes over here as well. Just try to make sure when you're putting in the weapon into the hands, you're not actually going to chip off any kind of nice looking gold paint. Otherwise, you're gonna have to repaint it yourself. And we all know how a lot of people here don't really like repainting. Okay, so this one is slightly bit different. I guess it's due to the angle of the weapon. Yeah, it's slightly a bit different over here. Let me just try to see if I can reposition it in such a way where he can hold his weapon nicely. There we go. Okay, so yeah, this is how you'll be able to hold his particular baton mode of his weapon. Too bad we're only getting these basic uh basic everyone has the same accessory type of weapons instead of their signature weapons. I really, missed opportunity here, honestly, for the Lightspeed Rescue Blue Ranger. He could have gotten his, the V Saber or the V Lance or something else. But it is what it is. Then, uh, Comics, hey comics, welcome to the stream. Nope, you did not miss TJ. I'm actually saving TJ for last, since almost everyone here is all looking forward to TJ. So we're almost done taking a look at the Lightspeed Blue Ranger. So if you want your friends to check out if you want your friends to check out Turbo Red or TJ in this review, now would be the best time to share this review, or to share this particular link to your friends as well. So yeah, so of course, up next we also do have this particular lightning effect piece, or this particular effect piece for the Lightning Collection Lightspeed Blue Ranger. In really can't remember if this is a new mold or a new effect piece, or maybe even an old one. So if you guys have your effect pieces lying around, please do let me know if this is an old one or a new one. It really does look like a very new one. If it is, I really would be quite surprised, because the weapon fits like a glove for this particular effect piece. So if we have not seen this effect piece in existence before, then yeah, we could safely say that this effect piece is custom made or specially made for the weapons of the Lightspeed Rescue Rangers. Of course, I forgot to mention the Lightspeed Blue does have a type of holster on the side of the belt. So in the event if you would like to, put the weapon inside of the holster, that is one thing that you can do. Just be careful. Oh, okay, so at least there are no paint. There are no paint application applied to the nozzle of the weapon. Oh, cool. The weapon, oops. Yeah, the nozzle of the weapon also does have a type of hole in here. Yeah, so if you do have any kind of effect pieces for blasters, I'm sure you should be able to put that in here as well. Quite nice though, they are integrating this almost everywhere. So yeah, from here, this is how you'll be able to keep the blaster inside of his holster. In the event, one fair warning though, try not to keep it in the holster for a very long time, because these holsters, since they're all made of a soft rubber plastic material, they have a tendency to, how do you say, melt or get sticky. And then from there onwards, it will most likely chip the paint job of your particular weapon. It happened to a lot of my Zeo Rangers, and I'm sure it's going to happen to these particular Rangers here as well. So yeah, sorry for the background. It is actually, weirdly enough, it's raining heavily right now in Malaysia. So, I guess I'm going to be able to have a very good sleep tonight after this particular live stream. Yeah. So, is everyone ready for TJ? Just feel free to let me know in the chat if you guys are ready for TJ, because yeah, I really do want to get a short drink, a sip of water. I'm going to go get a quick drink of water. I'll just be back in like less than 30 seconds, give or take. So we are going. As I mentioned before, please do share this particular link to any friends, any one of your friends in the US who are just waiting to watch TJ appear on the live stream while I take a sip of water. So I'll be back. See you guys in a bit, less than 1 minute. Just don't go anywhere. Red Lightning Turbo Power. I am so sorry. I am, if I gave you any kind of jump scare just by mentioning that here itself. I'm just reading off from chat. So yeah, I guess that's it for the Lightspeed Blue Ranger and the RPM Yellow Ranger, also a car
team Sentai or a car themed Ranger series. So I guess now we're just going to be taking a look at TJ. We do have, let's say, I guess we have been streaming for an hour or so. Yep, and we have also been recording for an hour or so. So hopefully I'll be able to shorten up this review in a highlight reel or a type of highlight of this particular review. And maybe I'll just make a proper review or last minute emergency review video. So over here, this one is the front of the box. Finally, we have the Turbo Red Ranger. I really am quite interested. It was really quite interesting how a lot of people keep on saying that because, the Turbo Ranger was a movie. Hasbro doesn't have the rights to it. Hasbro cannot produce anything from the movies itself. That really is interesting. But because this one is the Turbo Ranger from the main series, or, since Turbo is also a series itself, of course, Hasbro is going to make this particular Ranger. It does have a nice, nice paint job, or basically a nice front box cover art. On the side here, you do get a nice, 3D render or the 3D art of the Turbo Ranger or the Red Ranger over here. The back of the box over here, we do get to see we get to see more of what we're getting from the box here itself. Hopefully you guys can see this considered quite clearly, and you will get a nice set of accessories as well. So we do have TJ, another TJ hit. I can't remember how many TJ hits we have so far, maybe 3, including this. Out of the box, it immediately comes with a fist and, of course, a left weapon holding hand. And the other accessories, you do get the vice versa of the hand accessories. You also get another nice effect piece. I think this one we also have seen this before. We do get his every team member of Turbo would get the same blaster and of course would get the same sword, but I could be wrong, please do correct me, but I did remember having a bootleg Turbo set that came with all of the same weapons and the same swords. Here we do get his signature sword as well. Too bad the signature sword isn't used as much in the show, but I think in the Car Ranger series, it may have been used quite a lot. And of course, we do get a nice helmet over here. In this particular 3D render, it looks like the silver here looks a bit dull, but I hope the figure is much more shinier and basically shiny just like this right here. And of course, on this side of the box, you do get to see what you will be getting from this set, and you do get another render of the helmet. Really am looking forward to this. I'm sure all of you are looking forward to this as well. So let's just slowly open him up, and then we'll be able to take a look at what we have inside. Let's just pop this side here. Okay, so this is an easier removal than Chad over here. You do get some, legal blur right here. The accessory pack right here, and the figure pack from this side. Yep. So as usual, I'll just be taking a look at the accessories and the particular figure, and that way I'll then be able to let you all know what I think. It started with the Phantom Ranger, yeah, the space version of the Phantom Ranger. So let's just see here. Oh, it's actually, oops, sorry, it actually is past midnight, so now it's the 5th of July. If no more the 4th of July in Malaysia, but I'm sure it's still the 4th of July somewhere else. Let's just move the accessories on the side first and just get the particular figure. So from here, so if any one of you watching this particular stream and it's, in a way considered past your bedtime, let me just wish you good night from here itself. Of course, I'm talking to someone who is messaging me right now. But so let's just take a look at the Turbo Ranger. It is a new body mode. This is quite interesting. So when I say new body mode, let's just take a look at the head first before we can check out to see what it is. Mention this over here. So from here, we can basically see the particular head sculpt or the new the new head sculpt of TJ. I'm not sure if you are able to see it quite nicely on stream. I'm trying to make sure that it matches with the camera that I have separately. So yeah, this one is a quite interesting or a nice TJ head sculpt. Yeah. Okay, so from here, I think the best thing I can basically show you is that, his hair is quite his hair or very short hair can be seen or is nicely painted on the head itself. The eyes, the eyes are quite nice looking. Yeah.
So and then afterwards we do have the particular lips. Reminds me of a Dave Chappelle short. Okay, so this one would be the TJ's civilian head, and now let's take a look at the the helmet here. The helmet is very nice looking. I really do like how the Turbo Ranger's head actually looks, or the Turbo Ranger helmet sculpt. So yeah, we do have the Red Lightning. We do have the Red Lightning Turbo Ranger. I'm not too sure if this one is a type of error. Like, is this supposed to be like bumping outwards a little bit more, or it just, comes out straight from here? So maybe you guys can let me know if you have time to do a quick Google search on how the helmet is supposed to be like. From here, all of the chrome area of the particular helmet is nicely painted in a silver plastic, sorry, in a silver paint. You do have the sunroof like normal for your Turbo Rangers, similarly to the In Space Rangers. I guess quite a lot of people, I guess during this time for Car Ranger and Mega Ranger, they really do like to include a type of sunroof on their head over here. So yeah, that one is the helmet of the Red Turbo Ranger. Now, as usual, as I mentioned before, same thing goes. If you can repeat after me to just to let me know, just to remember how you can remove the heads of these Lightning Collection figures to make sure you guys don't break it. Let's just double check on the chat before I go through. Face looks good, but the hairline is kind of weird. I guess so. I suppose so. Yeah. Oh, just check is accurate. It's not straight. Okay, cool. So the helmet here is not supposed to be straight. This is an accurate shape of the grills of the helmet here. So as I mentioned, quickly, pop quiz. How do you remove the helmet? How do you remove the head of the Lightning Collection figures? You just get the figure to look up as far as you can go, and then from here, put your thumb underneath, and then you're able to pop it off. It's so much more easier than just trying to, pull it like this and then try to hope that it doesn't break the joint here itself. Putting the helmet on is slightly bit more different, but since we have the headless part of the particular figure, so this is what I mean by a new body mold. The neck area is not really molded onto the torso, so of course you get a nice natural neck pivot or a neck swivel from side to side if you're trying to pose the particular if you're trying to pose the particular ranger in any kind of shape or way that you want. In terms of having it to look up and down, it's slightly a bit stiff or it's slightly a bit tight. So if you want to make it look up, you can just try to look up this way, but it's not really staying there as well. And of course, we do have the type of dumbbell joint for the base or for the top of the how do you say, for the base or for the top of the neck here area, so you can't really make it look up that far. I guess that is one of the main downsides for these new figures. You get more natural looking articulation, but you can't really get them to look up unless you do something with the helmet over here. So if you have enough space, let's say if I were to show you like this, if you have enough space in here, then of course you can get the figure to look up this much or to look up this far. Whereas if you have an old figure, let's see if I have, yeah. Whereas if you have an old figure like, Kaku Ranger Black or Ninja Black over here, where the where the joint is in this particular manner, right? You can get the figure to look up even more because of how the design really is. So they really can look up that far. But it's still not, I guess they were trying to go for a much more natural look. Yeah, because I think they're trying to go for a much more natural look. So humans can't really look up. Humans can't really look up in the way as how the Ninja Black Ranger was able to do so. Yeah. Okay, so that one is the nice discovery of the new neck joint or of the new torso. Speaking of torso, the decals or the painting applied to the painting applied to Turbo Red's torso, that one is quite nice looking. This really is painted on. There's no patterns here whatsoever. So in the event if anyone else was excited to make their own Turbo Rangers or Turbo customization, you would in fact be correct, because all of these are all painted on. The only main downside, if you have a Ranger figure that all of its details are painted on is that the paint will chip if you accidentally scratch it. Yeah, so try to, what do you call it? Try to avoid any sharp objects, or try to avoid, breaking or dropping the particular figure on the floor, because you might actually scratch the particular paint job. Yeah, so yeah, that one is one thing to take note of. It is quite nice looking though. The yellow is quite good. Same thing, of course, the yellow on the particular neck area. I'm not too sure if it's a little bit off-centered. I think it's just basically how the figure is. So if I were to center the figure in nice, have the figure shown in front of you quite nicely. So I guess this one is quite centered. Yeah, hopefully we don't get any errors where all of these paints get moved onto the side as well. Yeah, that is quite hope. Yeah, and that oh, and of course, the back of the particular figure also does have its own paint job here as well. I guess Turbo's the Turbo Ranger design, or sorry, the Car Ranger design, or yeah, for Power Rangers Turbo, they do have a lot of nice patterns in the torso area. Over here, you will be able to see the nice number 1 race number over here. You do have the white line here. This white line here is also painted here as well. Same thing goes for this particular black area here. And I guess this is, yeah, so the forearm of the particular figure is, it's molded in a red plastic, and the black and white are all painted on. So that is one thing that you need to be careful of if you were to do anything with it. Over here on the right hand side, or for his right hand, you do get a nice Car Ranger logo, a nice triangle and a nice C over here. Same thing goes for this one. I guess the main downside that I can just basically point out is that the shade of white is not really that consistent. So that is one thing to take note of if you were to get this particular figure. If you want to touch it up, you can, feel free to do so if you want to touch it up. Over here, you do get a nice, nice paint jobs all around. Since this is a new body mode, I guess it really does explain why a lot of people are saying that his arms are sticking out even more. Yeah, so let's say if I were to bring back the Dino Fury Blue Ranger here, the torso of for Dino Fury Blue, it looks like his arms are nicely integrated into the chest area, right? So that's number one. As for Turbo, it looks like, he does have bulky shoulders, or just round shoulders altogether. That basically does make the look even more excuse me, does make the look even more slightly bit unnatural. Yeah, but if you can actually live with that, then good for you. Because, as the same as, as how it goes, new articulation or new molds means new ingenuity. Nobody says that. Why did I even say that? Okay, so from here, as of course, we still do have the, the usual typical articulations that actually comes here with. You're still able to make the figure, look back that far, but since since the patterns of the paints are available over here, please do be careful when you are trying to pose them, so that way you don't accidentally chip it as well. Yeah, so you'll be able to see the inside of the top part of the torso. Yeah, this is how far I can actually make him look. And then if I want to make him crunch forwards, this is going to be a bit tricky, because if I were to push him a little bit forward, his the paint area of his waist might, scratch against the belt. So that is another thing that you need to be careful of. Yeah, I don't doubt that he can bend. Okay, yeah. So yeah, this is how you'll be able to bend him forwards. And if you bend him forwards but keep him in this particular position, since the belt of the figure, again, is made of a soft rubber plastic material, it will also, deteriorate over time, get sticky, and then when it does get sticky, as usual, it will then remove some of the paint job that is over here. So yeah, do be careful when you're posing your figures. Now that we are over here, let's take a look at the belt or the waist. Really nice looking belt. I guess it's meant to depict the front highlights of the car. Yeah, the front highlights of the car. Really interesting choice though for the car rangers to have the belt buckles to look like this. I don't think they do anything at all. Slightly bit reminds me of Kamen Rider Black RX or the American Master Rider, where you have the two orbs at the center of the belt here itself. He does have a nice holster. His holster is considered quite new, quite unique. Shape itself. We'll slowly show you later how you can put the weapon inside of the holster. Let's just double check over here. Surprise is, oh, you like the new neck connection? Oh, that's nice, Megadon. That's very nice. Make it look up, pop it off with your thumb. Yeah, exactly. Look at that. Someone's been paying attention to how you can pop off a particular hit of a Lightning Collection figure. Let's just okay, logos on the arms look really good. Yep, yep, yep. You can definitely see that they're sticking onto out a little bit. Right. Now that it's considered canon. I never really noticed the belts once. Yep, correct. That's why. So yeah, that one is the particular lights over here. Okay, so up next we do have the continuation of the patterns on the side of the thigh area over here. He does have, since this is a new body mode, he does have drop down hips as well. Let's see if we can shake him. Still okay. I guess not really too loose. It doesn't fling out all the way here. But I am having a very stiff situation. So let's see if I can do this carefully and try not to break it. This is a very unique, it's a very unique drop down hip situation because instead of it being straight, it's a little bit curved. If you guys can check out the articulation, or if you guys can check out the joint over here, because usually drop down hips are considered quite straight, but again for Tommy here, I mean for TJ here, it's a little bit curved. So yeah, do be careful when you want to pose it. Again, drop down hips are basically meant to let you have much more range of articulation, or just to make sure that your articulation looks much more natural as compared to anything that you have received or anything that you have seen before as a action figure. Over here, you do have a nice, how do you say, nice boots itself. So this time, instead of the boots being in red plastic, they are all just properly white plastic with a little black paint just to depict the particular design. I really do like Turbo's design in general. I really feel that this was the type of Ranger or Sentai design that resonated with me quite a lot. Have I watched Witch from the Mercury? I still haven't watched Witch from the Mercury yet. I really am trying to find time to watch that new particular Gundam series. I heard season 2 is out. I really do want to, binge watch the whole entire series. That's why. I did hear a new build series is coming soon. Excuse me. I did hear a new a Gundam build series. A new one is coming out soon. So I'm looking forward for that as well. As I mentioned before, the fist does come on the right-hand side, and the trigger happy hands come from the left. Same thing goes for this one here as well. So one thing vice versa of the weapons. One major gripe I have is that because he only has one shooting weapon, he comes with two trigger finger happy hands, or trigger happy finger hands, which is kind of disappointing because he does come with two swords, and the swords, they don't have any kind of holsters or any kind of place where you can put the trigger in. So unlike Chad, where his weapons does have a place where you can put the trigger fingers inside of their respective weapons, if I were to remove this over here, okay, so if we take a look, the first one here, we do have the saber, right? Like the standard signature saber that every particular Turbo Ranger would basically get. You see here on the handle, no trigger, no areas where you can put in the trigger at all. I mean the finger here at all. So the weapon is also considered quite nicely painted as well. Nice silver, shiny gold. Yep. So that is one thing that's quite nice. But if I want to just have him hold the weapon, that's gonna be a pain. like, would this look good? Oops, sorry. Like, will this look good? This won't really look nice at all. I mean, of course, I am nitpicking. We do have a lot of same arms that we have gotten from other Lightning Collection figures as well. We can, of course, swap it because I think the design of the arms are considered quite similar. So if you want to give him a different set of weapon holding hands, you are free to do so. But this here is definitely a type of oversight. I mean, if Hasbro can give us a proper, weapon holding hand to hold the particular weapon, at least we know that, how do you say, it's give us a proper weapon holding hand on the left hand side instead of the right. I think I understand why they, when this figure came out of the box, and he has his weapon holding hand on the left but not on the right, is because I think the actor, Selwyn Ward, is left-handed. Yeah, I think because he's left-handed, so they gave him his weapon holding hand out of the box on the left-hand side. So if that is true, I mean, since if I am correct that the actor is left-handed, then this is a quite a nice homage to it. Let's just double check over here on the chat right now. The new build series is like 3 series or specials. Oh, okay. Should have come with a turbo blaster. Exactly, it should have come with a turbo blaster. It would have looked more better on the red turbo ranger here as well. 2 main builders for both build fighter series. Yep, exactly, that one I've seen. The reason that the reason alone, yet happy. Yeah, I really am looking forward to Gundam build. That's why every protagonist for the build series will get a new Gundam. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, so that would be the I think maybe like I would just like to call it the engine saber. I really don't know what type of weapon this is actually called. Another good thing about this weapon is that it is this whole weapon here is molded in a red plastic. I was about to say it's molded in a silver plastic, but the silver can't be this shiny if it's molded in silver. So this handle here is actually the red plastic here itself, so you don't have to worry about paint chipping. The only time you need to worry about paint chipping is on the whole entire weapon here itself. Yeah. Up next, you also do have the blaster. Too bad the blaster doesn't it doesn't come with an alternative blaster where the top part here does extend backwards. Or I think the top part here extends forward. I can't really quite remember. It does, it comes in the shape of a car. You do have some nice silver for the tires of the car or the weapon here. You do have a nice canopy for where the drivers should actually be. And of course, the weapon does have a tiny hole. Yeah, I guess it is quite common now. We're going to see a new status quo where every single weapon that we get from the Lightning Collection is going to have a tiny hole over here where you can take your existing effect pieces and shove it in. Yeah, this is definitely very interesting indeed for all of the different Lightning Collection weapons or upcoming Lightning Collection weapons as well. Oh man. Yeah, Divers is considered quite meh, I think. I need to double check on the series. Okay, so that one is for the weapon, and now we do have hang on. Am I seeing something different? Okay, so we do have his signature sword, right? His signature sword, the ones that actually, came with the turbo ram, where all of the rangers will get their own different. Yep, all the rangers will get their own different signature weapon. So this one is the sword itself. Nice paint job, the whole handle part here molded in red plastic, the paint of the weapon, nicely painted, and a nice silver over here. But remind me again, how do you form the turbo ram for the Turbo Rangers? Because I think I may have noticed a slightly new sneak peek where if we look at the bottom of this particular blade, it looks like the blade here is considered removable. Yeah, as in either that or Hasbro decided to make this weapon in 2 separate pieces instead of 1, where this handle or this guard, where this particular handle or guard is a separate piece, and then they have the blade to put in here as well. So yeah, I may try to remove this off stream just to see whether if this is actually removable. And if it is removable and is a part of, forming the particular turbo RAM, we might have, or there might be a possibility that for future turbo rangers might get all of their weapons, or might be able to have all of the weapons to be able to form the turbo RAM. Yeah, that's just a speculation. We only have time of the future to actually tell us whether if I am right or wrong. But yeah, it actually quite nice looking as well. That one will be quite cool. Last but not least, we do have. Oh, let's see if we can have him hold his weapon over here. Okay, so I guess in defense of my particular comment, because of how the weapon here has a guard, you won't be able to see that he's using trigger hands or blaster holding hands to hold the sword. So yeah, so I guess in a way, if you want to make sure his hands are accurately using, or like if he's using the accurate hands, yeah, just give him one blaster on one side and then the sword on the other. So of course you do have the blaster is able to fit inside of the holster as well. Same thing goes, same ruling goes as well. Since this holster is of course made of a soft rubber plastic material, you should definitely not leave the blaster in here for too long. Otherwise, you would be, there is a risk of paint chipping on the particular figures. Yep. So again, here is the new effect piece, or a effect piece that we have most definitely seen before. Now that I have it on hand, if you want to have it, have the particular ranger hold the effect piece or have the weapon to apply the particular effect pieces, yeah, this is one way that you can do so. Try to slide the weapon inside of the main gaps of the weapon. Sorry, have the weapon slide in the gaps of these effect pieces. That's one thing that you can do, or one way that you can do. Another way, I don't think there are any other ways itself. I think this is one of the only ways that I would know how I can put on the effect pieces on the main rangers over here itself. If any one of you guys have a much more unique way of putting the effect pieces, maybe he can just bend the effect pieces in such a way that it will just be wrapping it around. Oh, that is interesting. Huh. Because the effect pieces are made of a soft material, you can't just warp it in such a way where it will be very unique. Okay, so I'll include this in all of the, product shots that I'll be taking on a different day later on. But yeah, I guess that one should be it for Turbo Red, or basically Red Racer, or the Turbo Red Ranger. I'm trying to see if I can actually give him a nice poll, so that way we can have a nice looking thumbnail for the particular ranger. So, do bear with me on this one. Yeah, let me just double check on chat while I'm working on this. Turbo Lightning Sword. Oh, it's called the Turbo Lightning Sword? Oh, that's good to know. When green comes out, since his weapon is the main part. Oh, okay, okay. So once we get Turbo Green, then we'll basically find out whether if those weapons are mergeable, or whether can they actually fuse into the Turbo RAM onwards. But yeah, finally Turbo is here, and I guess even though Turbo isn't really much of a fan favorite because of how bad it was, or I mean not as bad as Operation Overdrive, but yeah, not many people are fans of the Turbo Rangers. I actually kind of like Turbo. That was where I was much more aware of the particular Ranger series as compared to the others. Let's see here. What else can I do to post Chat Lee or Mike Chat over here? So, what do you guys think of these particular Rangers so far? Are you guys excited? This is a new, how do you say? I would say it's like a new beginning, a new wave kind of beginning. That way, these are all the new Ranger figures. that from teams that we have not seen before. So this is definitely a new era type of situation. Oh man, this is nice looking. Okay, that's blue. Blue is ready. Too bad too bad we don't have RPM yellow to have her nice little posing itself. Turbo isn't your favorite at all, but TJ means a lot to many fans. Yep, exactly. I can tell how do you say I also can understand how everyone would be a fan of TJ itself. It's really very iconic. I guess Turbo did do quite a lot of very different things, like breaking the mold and such. Trying to do a lot of different things. We have the first Child Ranger, we have Selwyn Ward, which is considered quite good, and it slowly expands upon. It slowly just expands upon the lore of the Power Rangers itself instead of it being very episodic. Honestly, really good, but above all, it really is nice. It's it really looked into future. Yeah, yeah. I think I know what you mean. I think you're trying to say that it's in a way it kind of is like a sneak peek into the future of the Lightning Collection figures. I'm not too sure whether if this is a correct pose for yellow, but I'm just literally very different, indifferent in regards to yellow's posing. But yeah, let's just try to put everything one here all together so that way we can get a nice thumbnail for this particular live stream. Ooh, it's a bit off. Yeah. If it's Malaysia's Independence Day, we're just missing the white color over here. So it is quite interesting how we don't have a white in this particular set right here. Yeah, I hope this one basically looks quite good. So yeah, oh man, this whole set I have been waiting for it to arrive because it's gonna be extra work for me. I'm gonna have to make the reviews of these. So as I mentioned before, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna quickly do a how do you call it, a live stream highlight, from everything that I've said so in this particular stream itself, and see how it goes, see how they do. If they do well, then I'll just be doing a lot of my highlights for the live streams that way. Uh, at the same time, I'm just gonna be making short live stream review. I'm just gonna be making short review videos, so that way you guys can watch that as well. That way it will just be the proper scripted version, and you can know my thoughts from there as well. Yeah, that is what I'm gonna do from here. The helmet is iconic, exactly. Now we have to wait for the Umbrella Ranger. Exactly. We just it only time will tell, or basically slowly we will be getting our very own uh how do you say Umbrella Ranger from the Lightspeed Rescue series. I think this is much more better here. Sorry, I think my light was glaring a little bit for this particular design. Let me just wait for the stream to catch up. Yep, okay, yep, I think this one is much more better in a way that you guys can actually see it here. Okay, yep, so it is right now 12:30, definitely way past a working adult's bedtime. So I hope each and every one of you enjoyed this particular review where we get to see the new figures live properly. This time, instead of just random shots on YouTube, I'll definitely also be making shots of these particular figures on YouTube as well. So, stay tuned for that. So if any one of you who are watching this particular live stream video after the fact, please feel free to like, comment, and of course subscribe to the channel, because new good things are coming. It's the summer of 2023. That basically means that that basically means that Malaysia would most likely get a lot of new releases. I hope, knock on wood that the opposite doesn't happen. Yeah. uh yeah, I guess that should be it, man. I hope all of you guys enjoyed this particular live stream. I am just going to be, taking my sweet time to make the reviews of these particular figures here as well, so that way everyone can enjoy it during the weekend. Please do let me know in the community tab. I think I'm just going to be putting up a poll later on whether should I actually split apart these reviews as one figure by itself or as a whole wave in and of itself. So that way I would know how I can spend my time even much more better on other different types of content. So yeah, do let me know with regards to that. So I think I have already recorded my ending, I suppose. Yeah. So if you enjoyed this video or if you enjoyed this live stream, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. A lot more good things are coming. It's the summer of 2023, so you can definitely bet, or you can definitely bet that a lot more good things are coming itself. Yep. Thanks everyone for joining on the stream. Galaxy, thank you for joining in. Megadong, always a pleasure to have you here. I think Comics is not here. I think Comics may have left, but yeah, thank you for being super active in the chat as well. Fakihin, I hope you're also staying in on this stream as well. Thank you for joining in. Aditya or Adinaf. Adinaf, I think this is quite you. Oh yeah, okay. So Aditya is still here, but you just changed your name to Adinaf. Yeah. So thank you for joining in. Ranger Blocks, hope you're also having a good day as well. So for any one of you who, in the US who is out there celebrating Independence Day, please do be extra careful when you are using when you are playing fireworks, because fireworks are really quite dangerous. They are considered quite dangerous in Malaysia here as well. Hey, nice one. Good night, fucking. I'll see you. I'll chat up with you later on soon. Yep. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. I guess that should be it from me. Yeah. Goodbye.
You know I suggest. You know I suggest.
Oh man, you need some headphones, bro.
You know I suggest. You know I suggest.